What you see here is our starting screen. Actually, it's all hooked up to Figma. So this is the design. On top here on the left side, you see DUTCH0x beta. We decided to release the first part as a beta. It's going to be entirely free. And it looks like we're going to revamp the name a little bit too, because we were talking about the creator dashboard. But we're talking now to just call it dashboard, because the first launch will have a lot of tools in there that can be used by anyone. So it's going to be a user and the creator dashboard, and yeah, we're going to upgrade it as much as possible with time passing. All right, so what are the things you else see? So the dashboard, create, marketplace, learn, that's all was there before. What's new here is the little gas icon over there with actual gas prices. I didn't even know this. P probably did, but different stuff on the blockchain, minting, transferring, withdrawal costs different amounts of gas. So when you click on it, you get a drop-down menu that shows everyone who is gonna do stuff on the blockchain what it costs. This is an alert button, which there's no alert yet, and this is the profile button. This is all placeholder for now, but it shows balance and Ethereum L1 and loopring layer 2 what the balance is, and of course users can switch from light to dark mode or add funds.
So a couple things. As a creator, from the creator point of view, the gas showing was really important. For me, on fruit salad, I can mint 1,000 edition NFT and it only costs a few cents. And then to airdrop it, sometimes it costs 1 to 3 cents per airdrop or whatever. But for other creators who do, like for example, MetaBoy or my Bitbot collection or Bumbleberries, those are thousands of NFTs minted individually with individual mint costs per NFT, and those really add up. And so we felt like it was really important to add the gas fees so that you could see that. Even though on layer 2 it is cheap, when you do it a lot, it starts to really add up. And says, he likes the gas icon. Can you set a gas threshold for how much you are willing to spend on fees and delay it until it hits that threshold? That's genius. I like that a lot.
How much you're willing to spend on fees and delay? Oh, that could be. Those fees can add up though. Yeah. So I didn't see the chat, but Pilot showed us a few screenshots from the creator GME chat where people were literally waiting for gas prices to drop even on layer 2, because when for instance a MetaBoy mints 10,000 NFTs, 14 cents or 3 cents is a lot of money when you're talking about those amounts of mints.
Yeah,
so I didn't realize, but yeah.
There's the heat. Sorry, did I cut you off?
No, it's okay, go ahead.
I get really excited about this stuff and then I get rude when I'm talking, so sorry about that. But, so there's the heat map that everybody is familiar with, at least in the creator side. You know what times of days the fees are going to be cheaper, right? And usually first thing in the morning on like a Tuesday or something like that. Or sometimes it's like at 3 a.m. It depends on what part of the world you live in. So that would be interesting actually, to have some sort of limit mint capability where you set a limit and you can try to save money that way. That's really interesting. I don't think that'll be available for launch, but we'll add that into our list of would be interesting things for sure. That's a good idea, Coip. I like it.
I've already put it in our team chat, so I'm curious how that's going to work out. But great suggestion, Coip. Thanks for that.
It's also important to realize that it may never reach that point too. So you may never actually mint your NFT, and you may just have to suck it up and mint it at whatever price. So It's
Yeah.
an interesting idea, though, for sure.
Yeah. GD, glad you're here as well right now. We were talking about the little gas icon on top, which will show everyone that uses the dashboard live gas fees, so they can they can take that into account when doing certain stuff. And Koip suggested a threshold for how much you're willing to spend on fees and delay it. So that's where we're at right now.
And another point that you brought up was the. Can you click on the profile tab again, please?
Yep.
So it's really cool that we have this profile tab. There's going to be a lot of crossover from this into the event, right? So we're doing things similar to every other place where you create your own profile and it shows your funds and it shows a little bit of information about yourself and a profile picture and stuff. And this is going to kind of be a hint that we are moving towards having multiple people interacting with each other in a public space. So it's not just a private dashboard and that saves all of your little search terms, but eventually you're going to be able to show who you are on this platform.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think the English saying is let's get to the bread and butter.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe you can guide us a little bit. Who was that?
The bread and butter, I love it.
Oh yeah. Can you guide us through this because this was a big part was your input here. Because your creator experience came into handy and especially the tax purpose of this tool.
Yeah, I tend to get very passionate about this, and if I'm going too long, then shut me up because I could literally talk about this. You guys don't know this, but when I'm sitting in an airplane with another dude and we're flying from like Boston to Austin, like I did the other day, it's like a 4-hour flight, and I'm sitting there talking to them about how crypto works, and so I can do this. I'm not that great at it, but it's really exciting, and I'm really passionate about it. The fact that you can track money, not just your own money, like in your JP Chase or Wells Fargo bank account, you can track other people's money too, right? Crypto is amazing, and we can now see what people are doing and keep people accountable, and you'll be able to see how strong a system is by how much money has remained circulating through it versus people who are off-ramping it and taking that money out of the system. It really provides a lot of really great digging in material for people who want to know what the F is going on. And I love it. I love this kind of stuff. And so we built this with the capability to do that for yourself so that you can do tax calculations, which was huge for me because I literally have over 200,000 transactions. Some of them are less than a penny, and some of them are, a few $100s, or probably as high as a few $100s. So I have a lot. Well, actually, no. With the different payments that I've made to employees and stuff, it's been thousands of dollars. So I have a wide range of transactions, and I have a lot of transactions. So I need to be able to figure those out. Also, I need to be able to separate those from whether it's a sale that I make, whether it's a royalty that I make, whether it's a private transfer that I make because I'm paying somebody some money, whether I receive money privately, or whether it's, a trade that one of my community members makes. I want to see all of that, right, as a creator, so that I can put it all together and give it to my accountant. And if I can do that in an organized way, then the accountant is going to have a much easier time, and my life's going to be much easier. I honestly won't have to spend much time at all. Whereas this last year, for 2022, I've got papers flying all over this place because I've had to generate reports from the Explorer, and I've had to generate reports from my private sales tool that I have with not as great of a user interface as this, and this is something where creators have come to me and said, this is exactly what we want, this is what we need. And so when we built this, it was pretty painstaking. We took a lot of time and made some revisions, and I want everybody to know that we've kind of built this and geared this towards the ability to do your taxes, but also to keep people accountable. And this is the revolution of what crypto is, right? If you can't see this stuff, then what is the point of it? What's the point of crypto? It's just another form of money? No. It's another form of money that you can track, and it's free, and you're able to see what's happening and know what's happening, and that is power. That is freedom. Anyway, so you have the analytics is what we changed it to. It was sales, it was tracking, and then we finally turned it into analytics, because we're not just tracking sales, but we're also tracking the flow of money in all different forms of transactions and NFTs. So if you click on that thing next to analytics, that drop down menu to the right of analytics.
Which one? Sorry, this one?
NFT tracking.
Even kijken. Oh yeah.
NFT tracking right there, right next to analytics, to the right of it.
I already pressed it.
Oh, you did? I can't see anything. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you have NFT tracking and you have wallet tracking. Two different things, because you may want to track how NFTs flow around within your collection and other collections, and you also want to track how currency flows around through your wallet or through other wallets. And so by clicking on one of those two things, it's going to move this other overview menu into a different format for you to be able to understand what you're looking at. Obviously, this is a Figma, so these numbers aren't going to make sense. You're going to see, data that's all over the place and it doesn't correlate. But that's just because this is a presentation and the programmers are currently working on it, and we can't show that to you guys yet. But it shows you at the top how you can do date ranges, whether it's from a week to custom range setup. It shows you the opening balance for that range and the closing balance for that range.
Yeah, and I think also a powerful one is that you're able to select the crypto type you want and the fiat you want it presented in. And of course, I gotta search for the button where it is, but it's also with a downloadable report, so to make it complete.
Yes. Koip says money tracking is good. I really like the percentage gains and losses. Yeah. So we want this to feel like a real data just overload where you can get whatever you want out of it. We've studied, because I've participated in many different brokerages, from E-Trade to all the way down to Robinhood. I also have a Coinbase account and a Gemini account and a Loopring account. So we've studied all of the different reports that you can get from these companies and kind of pick the best from all of them. But mostly for tax purposes, it is that gain versus loss ratio that we're looking at. And so at the top there, that's why we have the profit and loss trends period that you're searching for, which is, if you're doing taxes for last year, you would do the range from last year. But if you're just doing searches for intermediate time periods, then you may do it for a shorter period of time, just to see how certain sales went. For a creator, if I do a launch of an NFT collection, I may want to compare it to the launch of another one to see what I did differently and what I could do differently to be more successful.
All right. You want me to scroll a little bit downwards?
Yeah, go down.
Hey, that's a good point. Wolfie's old Loopring logo spotted. This one, Loopring coin.
That's funny. We'll get that. Thanks. That's good. Good job.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, man. That's why we want to do.
We got GD.
Choo choo.
Go up just a little bit to where it says the wallet, where you can input a little search term in there. A little bit higher.
Here?
There it is. Yeah, wallet ID or ENS. Do you see that there on the right side? Yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, but.
Go ahead.
No, it's not usable yet, but that's not where you're going, so keep going.
This is just something so that we can talk about it. Again, it's not programmed yet. So, you're in the wallet tracking analytics hub, so you can see the data for the wallet that you're tracking. And in this case, if you look on the left side, track by wallet ID or ENS, we're tracking fluffy.loopring.eth, right? So on the left side there, this is the data for that wallet. Now, if you go to the right side at the top where it says wallet ID or ENS, you can input a separate wallet ID. And this is what I call wallet interactions. This is going to be huge. I don't think anybody truly realizes, I don't think even I know how huge this is going to be. I can now search one wallet ID and compare it to another wallet ID and see how those two wallets interact. Now, the reason why you might want to do this is a lot of reasons. If I have two different wallets for my business and I want to see how they interact, then that's obviously something important, or see how an employee's wallet has interacted with my wallet, right? But what if you are doing a little bit of digging on somebody that is suspicious, right? Somebody who has come into the community and you potentially think that these people could be scamming people. You can now search one wallet and see how it interacts with that other wallet that you know is a scam wallet, and see if they've transferred anything back and forth, and how many times that has happened, and what did they transfer, and all of that data will show down here in our little explorer. So I think personally that's huge. And this is not just for community members' wallets. This is for any wallet on the entire network, right? This is for Loopring developer wallets. This is, that we suspect, we don't know all of them. But this is for political, people's wallets. This is everything. So now the individual is empowered to know more information. I'm sure Coit, a genius, could already do this, right? But I can't. I certainly couldn't unless I had this tool. And so the person who really wants to know can now do this. And I was adamant about putting this in there. Figure out how to do it in an organized way, and I think that our UI guy really did a good job.
Yeah, nothing to add there. Nothing to add there. All right.
We have an issue right now because Fudgy, who created the Explorer, has decided that he doesn't want to be involved with it anymore, and so he gave it to Loop Exchange. And I'm really glad, because the Explorer has been helpful for everybody, obviously. We love it. But now that we have this Explorer, you'll be able to take that information from Loop and narrow it down to whatever you want. And that's through currency and NFTs. And I want to make that clear. That's kind of my goal here, because there's a lot of information out there and we need to figure out how to organize it. This is our first attempt at doing it, and as we work on this and update it more and more, we'll be able to pinpoint things even further.
Yeah, so as an example, how I would use this personally, we have done some airdrops. It's not so much about wallet tracking, it's more NFT tracking, but I have done some airdrops that I messed up myself pretty bad. And when I wanted to look for the data on the Explorer to find out who received the airdrop and who did not, oh my God, that is so much work to do. That is not funny at all. Thank you, GD. But that's not funny at all. So in this tool, I would be able to simply select the storage wallet, select all outgoing, NFTs between a certain time and date, and there I have it. I have an entire list composed of who received the NFTs, and I can simply check who didn't receive it. So it's going to be hours, how it used to be, hours of work versus minutes.
Yep. It's also important to see on the left side, we're just tracking Fluffy's wallet, but I think you can select, in this Figma, can you select 2 wallets, the Mudblood Beer one?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
I think it's in the NFT tracking one. Oh, wait, maybe you did. Can you go up to the graph area?
Here?
Yeah, click on Maze Collabs
Done.
on the left side, the second collection. There you go.
Now there's, yeah.
So that's kind of another thing I wanted to emphasize is that you'll be able to search multiple things at once. So I already talked about how you can search one ID with one wallet, but now you can also search multiple IDs, and in this case, multiple collections or multiple NFTs, that other tab there above. So, yeah, and then the data is overlapping right there to kind of show you, so that you can compare. I think that's really cool. What else was I was gonna say something, dang it. I don't know, but for a creator with multiple collections, this is really important, right? Because the demand for your NFTs comes from the community, and the community is the ones who are buying what you're creating. So why wouldn't you want to see what they're buying? Why wouldn't you want to see the volume, right? And it's really difficult to do that. In Loopring Wallet, I get a royalty from a trade, and it comes from a generic address that Loopring has set up for royalties, right? And GameStop's royalty address is the exact same, by the way, because it's just the Loopring royalty address. But I don't know what sold unless I dig forever. It takes a long time. And I don't know how much of it has sold unless I dig forever. It takes a long time. So now I can instantly see what has sold, how much of it has sold, where is the community really interested, so that I can focus on those points versus, what I think they want. Why not just focus on what I know that they want? And provide the customer service and gear my entire thing towards that. For example, I have a few collections. Fruit salad is obviously the one that people want me to focus on. Have I totally pumped and dumped those other ones? No, but it takes a lot of time to focus on just fruit salad. And I realize that that's kind of where most of the interest is, so I have to put most of my attention on that. So for a creator with, some of these creators just have tons, like 20, 50 collections, and so it takes a lot of power to really track what's going on with all of those.
Yeah, and adding on to that, Pilot, maybe you want to elaborate because you just told us about royalties and you have no idea where they're coming from. Maybe you want to add it to it. I tapped into the royalties tab. You want to explain a little bit what we're looking at here?
Yeah, so obviously you can see the number of transactions, you can see how it's grown and how it's reduced over time. You can see volume within the date range, but also on the right side there, you can see royalties earned, and in this case it's in the future because that's what we're tracking. And for the percentage groups. Now, I think on most of my NFTs, I have them all at 9% royalties. I set that because I knew that I would need to further grow my collections, and rather than just creating a 0% royalty where I have no more commitment once it's sold, 9% royalty keeps me committed and keeps me on board, right? I'm subconsciously obligated because I'm still making money off of that collection. So I created 9% royalties because that kind of motivates me to stay in the game, right? I think that's important. But for other creators, you may have different groups of royalties, or you may just simply, as a community member, you may want to see for your investments which ones are the most likely to yield a profit. So in this case, it may be 10% because you're buying a Cybercrew NFT with 10% royalties, right? And so you'll know that you need to also make a 10% profit in order for that investment to make sense. And you'll be able to see how, maybe just because it's 0% royalties doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make a profit on that, but when you trade it later. Also, you're able to see each individual NFT in this Explorer that we have here, how it's traded, how many royalties we made on it, and how it's flowed around. So this is really big for someone like me because royalties keep us going, right? I haven't sold.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're doing great. And I wanted to add, look at this date. We're really living in the future here. 20,223. But the time zone, which is something I'm very enthusiastic about, because the time zones in Explorer and the way it's formatted, it's quite unclear to me what exactly is the time that a transaction was made. So in the profile section, you can select your own time zone, and you will see here your personal date and time that the transaction was done. So that's going to be more ease on the brain instead of calculating when the transaction was made via Explorer.
Ooh, I didn't know that they did that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I saw Koip typing. He decided to delete. All right.
What else is there? Yeah, you guys can kind of see all the little things that we've done so far, and there may be some things that we do between now and then to organize this a little bit better. And if you guys come up with anything that you think we're totally missing, let me know. But we're really proud of this, and I'm thinking that this is going to be probably the most used, most important part of this dashboard that we create initially. And then obviously once we have the marketplace, the minting and all of that will definitely come into play a little bit later.
See, that's a great input, Koip. I agree totally with you. He says, I hate time zone on the Explorer and on chain. Good to see that focus. So yeah, I agree.
For me, the GMT time in aviation, we call it Zulu time, and I've gotten accustomed to it. But yeah, for people who are not, and that's kind of important, right? For people who are not, always in crypto all the time, they may see that and be totally confused by that, and it may struggle.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you wanna highlight, or is this probably enough for now?
If anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw them out there. Any ideas that they have. I don't. Did you click on the trades and primary sales ones as well? Or, yeah, I think we already did click on those.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
The important thing is being able to delineate transaction types. There's going to be, where's that drop down that shows all of them? It shows.
Which one?
It shows like the investments and the.
Oh, I think all transactions.
Might be in the wallet tracking.
Type. Wallet tracking. Oh yeah, this one.
Just a second, it's a little slow on my side. Yeah, so it's really important to be able to delineate for me when I'm doing my taxes which. Oh, that deposit will be spelled. Because the Explorer just shows the flow of money, but it doesn't say whether I profited off of that or whether I lost money off of that necessarily, because I may transfer money away from my wallet into my other wallet, or I may trade with somebody or whatever, and it's equal trade, right? That I don't make money and I don't lose money. I may deposit money from my other wallet, or I may on-ramp money via the services that Loopring provides. So there's a lot of different ways to search these transactions so that you can narrow down your data. You typically transferring is how I pay people, right? When Alex, by the way, first of all, I also got to say, when Alex and I started working together, I was paying him money. But when we started working on this, Alex and I are totally committed, and all of the funds that we receive from my collections are now going into this. And Alex is not even making any money anymore because he's freaking awesome. But
Yeah, I'm freaking awesome for staying poor. Thank you, appreciate it.
Transparency there for you. But when I'm paying people, when I'm paying the developers, it's via a transfer. It's not like here's your paycheck. No, it just says transfer on the Explorer, right? So it's really important to be able to narrow all that stuff down.
Yeah, I don't know if you already said, but you're also able via this menu to select multiple transaction types, so it doesn't have to be one. If you want to group a few together, then you can click them, and you can check them all together in the same.
Yeah.
In the same. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
Okay, GD said, with being able to track multiple wallet transactions, sometimes I've seen it where you get a wallet buy, then transfer to another wallet, which transfers to another. It would be cool to see. Yeah. Okay, dude, GD, I have already got you, because we had a conversation with our developer the other day about showing wallet relationships such as that, where somebody's getting really tricky, right? They've got a string of wallets, and they are, like you called it, a string of wallets, and they know that we're so they have to move it across multiple layers of shysterness in order to fool everybody, right? So we are going to put that in here eventually. We can't do it right now just because of the time crunch, and we want to start getting people to use this. But we are going to do that because that's really important to me, and I think that people are definitely doing that, because if you do that, you're able to track, right? But make it so that nobody can do that. And I think there are people in this community who are screwing people over, and it's sad. I think there are people who have multiple identities in this community. I think there are people who are known scammers in other communities and have now come into this community with a different identity. And when you can take those known wallets and attach them to unknown wallets and see how they relate, it's going to be really important for everybody to do. So, yeah, I totally get what you're saying, and we're going to keep working on that for sure.
Yeah. All right. Koip has a good question. Is there a way to group wallets or NFTs so you won't have to toggle on and off every time? So I scrolled to the NFT tracking menu, and you can see here that you can select multiple NFTs, how many you would like. So the answer to that is yes. Is there a way to group wallets? I'm not sure. P, do you know?
Go to wallet tracking.
Oh yeah, so right here it says you can see it right here. So you can select multiple wallets, so you don't have to toggle on and off every time. I guess that's the answer. Yeah.
Seems like it. If that's not what you're asking, then go ahead and rephrase it. But yeah, I personally have somehow survived with just one wallet this entire time. But now that I can have multiple wallets in my Loopring wallet, I have like 4. So I'm gonna use all of those for my businesses, right? Actually, no, I lied. I've had this food storage wallet too, so that's actually a lie because we've used that one for our businesses. But I want to be able to track multiple wallets, and I'm going to be able to do that now through this tool, and it's a big deal.
So the answer to Koip is on both questions, yes, there is a way. All right. Yeah, so short, currently what we're all showing you guys is all Figma designs with placeholders there, and on the background, the back end has started, of course, because we're not making the deadline, but they've started programming everything so that we can deliver, hopefully before tax season finishes or starts. I think finishes, P, in the US. So that's our first goal. To add to that, we were talking about the creator dashboard a lot of times, and same with analytics. I think I already said that, but this first launch is gonna be it can be used by anyone, so you don't have to be a creator. The second stage, it will be more focused on creators because it's gonna have a lot of transactional tools in there, such as airdrop, trade-in, and stuff like that. So we hope that this little tool or extensive tool is going to be used by everyone in the community. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I hope that you guys will be able to, take screenshots from this and share it with people. I hope you'll be able to do some great research and due diligence on whatever you're interested in. I don't want to have anything restricted from people anymore. I want everyone to have total freedom, and I know that personally I'm excited to use this stuff, and I can't wait for the programming to get put in there so I can just mess around. I feel like I can mess around with this all day long, with all the results that I've saved in my little database. I feel like I can really do some damage by digging into those things. So I know that there are some people out there that do even more than that. But I want you guys to know that this is totally built with you guys in mind, right? Because I learned that that's the way to succeed in this community is focus on you guys, listen to you guys, do what you say, and it just works every time. It's weird. And if I was to sit here and just do whatever I wanted and try to take advantage of you and make as much money off of you as I could, then it wouldn't work. So it is important to realize that this is a beta tool. It's going to be free. We're going to derive the information from the Loopring Explorer, and the calculations are going to come from conversions on known sites such as CoinMarketCap, for example, based upon the period of time that the transaction happened. So we will hopefully be able to keep this thing watertight where there's no issues on the data, but play around with it and see if you can crash it, you know what I mean, and see if we can figure out if there's any issues, because we want to make sure that this data is accurate for sure.
Yeah, luckily we put a little beta sign on the left top, so we have our disclaimer, but we want to get out of the beta stage as soon as possible. So when we're comfortable and 100 people digged into it really well, then we can say, okay, we're confident, and it's free from the beta chains.
And this will be expanded even further as we open a marketplace later on. You'll see data that is marketplace related as well, and you'll be able to really dig in even further. We're excited for all this stuff. This is cool. I think this is
Yeah. Yeah, can I dig on that, because really we have done a lot of marketplace digging around. So Blur, I posted a long thread yesterday on Twitter. No one seemed interested in it, but yeah, it's kind of weird because Blur is causing a huge bubble in the market. They've done 1.6 billion of trades in the last 30 days, which is crazy compared to 140 million on OpenSea. And the reason why is, yeah, Koip, yeah, Blur. It's the new kid in town, but they're backed by VC money, and but they do have some good things going on. They have some really nice interface. They have a lot of graphics. They have making NFTs more fungible. Yeah, exactly. But they hand out blurs for people who trade a lot, and they have 0% platform fees. So they get no money coming in, and they hand out blurs. So it looks like a big bubble. But what I'm trying to say is that we're looking at those guys. What are they doing right, and what can we do ourselves too? And it really comes to intuitive and graphs. For instance, also some interesting stuff is pricing on rarity stats of NFTs. So certain NFTs possess certain stats, and it would be interesting to also give them a stamp of if it's good price for the customer, for the market, or if it's a high price for the market. But more of that over time. Koip, you really should look into Blur because it's a crazy website, but they're out there to kill OpenSea for sure.
Alex has really been doing some great research on other marketplaces, and he's been working on a white paper as well that will be released around the same time period that we open this up for public use. So I totally appreciate Alex and all the research that he does. He just digs into all these other companies and marketplaces so that we can get the information that we need and present a great white paper for everybody so that you know what's going on with this project.
Yep. Yeah, thank you, man. All right.
Yeah,
I think
sketch me out. Yeah, it's weird.
Robinhood, yeah. I want to share with you the research I did so bad, but in January they also advised creators who list on Blur to block out cross-listing on OpenSea. If they don't block OpenSea, they won't receive any enforced royalties. So they're trying to make creators pick and choose between one of both, and in the end it's about who gives them the most money. And it looks right now like via royalty enforcement is gonna be Blur, but their business setup is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy what they're doing, but it looks like it's work. I mean, they have done 10 times as much volume in a bear market, and people want to receive those blurs. So one blur right now is like 60 US dollar cents, and they trade on Coinbase, and against 0% platform fee. So if you're a creator or a high volume trader, you can do the math, right? Circle around for NFTs, which you, if that would happen on L2, you would be able to analyze it in our dashboard. But they just circle around trades and they receive blurs for that, so they can have a profit in the end. But all right, enough about that. I think we can wrap this up, Puppy.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming out. Hopefully you've been able to get a little taste of what's going on and hear the passion that we have for this. We're working on it day and night for you. I was working on the white paper a little bit yesterday while I was flying home from work. So we're taking the time that we need to, and we're making sure that this is done the right way, but we're also pushing to get it done hopefully by that Q1 period. If we can't get it done by then, we'll announce it. It'll just be a week or two later, but I think we're going to be close. So it's really exciting. Hey, we had one of our devs just join up. Hey, man. Yeah, guys, appreciate you coming out here, and we are calling it done for today. Thanks.
Cheers.